a photo of a massive Intel LGA7529 socket has appeared on the network. Did you think Intel's LGA4677 socket for scalable Xeon Sapphire Rapids processors was huge? A detailed image of the next generation Intel LGA7259 socket, provided by Marvin Serville, also known as Spray on Copper, has appeared online, demonstrating that this future socket is much larger than the current one. In fact, the LGA7259 can probably compete with an AMD SP5 socket with 6096 pins. An Intel LGA4677 socket with a size of 6182mm without a holding mechanism for Xeon Scalable Sapphire Rapids and Emerald Rapids processors is already quite a massive socket. However, as the image posted by Marvin Serville shows, it is significantly smaller than the company's upcoming LGA7259 socket for Intel's Granite Rapids and Sierra Forest processors, which will contain more cores and consume more power than previous Intel processors. The actual dimensions of the Intel LGA7259 are not publicly known, of course, they are available to developers, but based on what is known about the size of the current 4th generation scalable Intel Xeon processor, it looks like we are dealing with a socket size of approximately 6692.5mm, including the hold mechanism. However, the AMD P5 socket with 6096 pins for the EPYC Jena and Bergamot processors has an area of 93.4 with a holding mechanism, so it is superior to Intel's LGA4677 and LGA7259. Intel's 4th generation Xeon Scalable Sapphire Rapids processors have an estimated thermal output of up to 350 watts, but according to media reports, the maximum power limit for the LGA4677 socket is 764 watts. Intel's next generation processors with the LGA7259 socket are said to have a TDP of about 500 watts, so their peak consumption is likely to exceed 1 kilowatt. If you open this tweet, you'll see an image of a giant socket with a consumer processor added for scale. In addition to more power, the Intel LGA7259 socket will allow the use of a 12-channel DDR5 and DDR5 MCR memory subsystem, as well as some additional I/O. So far, it seems that not all additional lines will be used for power. It remains to be seen how much the Intel LGA7259 socket will cost. Modern sockets with thousands of pins with a small pitch, the Intel LGA4677 socket has a grid pitch of 0.81389/0.9398mm, are difficult to manufacture and, therefore, quite expensive. Depending on where you buy from, they cost anywhere from $101 to $124 per 10,000 unit. The Intel LGA7259 processor is significantly larger and has more pins, so it's reasonable to expect this socket to be even more expensive than its predecessor. Socket costs are only a tiny fraction of the list of server materials, so a 7259-pin socket by itself is unlikely to have a significant impact on the price of next-generation servers. However, given that CPU power consumption increases as the number of pins increases, server platform manufacturers are forced to use not only more expensive sockets, but also more advanced voltage regulation modules with more robust components, more powerful cooling systems, and higher power supplies.